The current gold to silver ratio stands at around 74 to 1. While this is way below the recent high of 92 to 1 from February this year, it remains well above the 30 to 1 level hit back in 2011. Let's say that the ratio drops back down to 50 to 1 from 74 to 1 where it is now. Let's assume that gold doesn't move from where it is now at $2,350 an ounce despite a sharp rally in precious metals. That would imply a silver price of $47 per ounce, just a shade below the 2011 all-time high. Now let's say that gold hits $3,000 per ounce, then a ratio of 50 would mean a silver price of $60. A return to the 30 to 1 ratio from 2011, and with gold at $3,000, then implied silver price is $100, double the price of its previous all-time highs. Okay, folks, so the topic of $100 silver always fascinated me because there's two very distinct types of people. Those that say silver will never hit $100 and they will call you a silver pumper for even mentioning the potential, the possibility that it could someday, and then the others that say of course it will hit $100 someday. Regardless of whether you think it will or not, here's some truth to the matter. Let me break it down so you can understand and comprehend why this is so important to grasp. So what $100 bills could get you back in the day is a lot more than what $100 bills can get you today. The dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power. So in the future, what $100 bills can get you will be even less than what it can today due to inflation, or rather hyperinflation. But silver's value, don't look at it to the dollar's value, don't look at spot price. Silver's value, what it brings to the table, is only going to increase since it is scarce, since we are advancing in this new digital era, this new technological era where silver is needed for everything and anything. So trying to say that $100 bills is worth more than an ounce of silver is insane, especially given that those $100 bills over time deplete to nothing, zero, nada, zilch. Why? Because our system is designed to do so. We are trying to get ourselves out of debt by replacing it with more debt. That's like trying to pay off a credit card with another credit card. It's gonna catch up, it has caught up, and the rest of the world is finally caught on too. Every fiat-based system lasts around a century. I think the dollar's the longest lasting one yet, and we're on the brink of, a global reset is happening. Whether you want to like it or not, or accept it or not, it's here. So we have that $100 bills, which is 2% of what it used to be able to get you, compared to an ounce of silver, which over time only grows in value as it's needed more and there's less of it. So trying to say that silver isn't worth $100 is nuts. The only logic, which I'm still going to destroy, the only logic you could say is, well, okay, silver won't hit $100, not because it's not worth $100, but because the price is manipulated. That's the only logical, but still stupid argument that someone could give. Why does it make sense? Because, well, yes, silver of course should be a lot more than $100, but it's not because of COMEX, corruption manipulation. But that does not mean that corruption, price manipulation can go on forever, especially given something that has intrinsic value that's tangible. The fundamental supply and demand can overweigh and will overweigh the amount of corruption going on behind the scenes. And we've seen that play out time and time again. So that's the whole point of this. It's not, oh, silver isn't worth $100. Of course it is. The main question should be, when will, not if, when will the manipulation come to an end? But before we jump deeper into this article about this guy saying, will silver hit $100 an ounce? It might outperform gold this year, according to this analyst. I wanted to mention, if you guys wanted to purchase silver, since it still is extremely cheap, it is on sale, it is on a discount, it is for pennies. Someone will be watching this video in a couple years from now and be wishing that they could take the offers that I'm offering right now with spot price only at $31, whatever. People will be wishing they could build a time machine and go back to the days of $30-something silver. I can guarantee that. Miles Franklin is the best place to buy from. We have the biggest inventory, the cheapest prices, weekly deals. Right now, we have Buffalo rounds, 235 over spot. We have kangaroos, 310 over spot. We have 10-ounce bars, 225 over spot. We have 100-ounce bars, 225 over spot. We have kilo bars, 205 over spot. 90% silver, $3 over spot. Maples, 360. I mean, you name it, we got it, and for a great price. And I promise no one else is going to have better prices than us, and if they do, then I'll match them. But I've never seen that yet. Actually, there's been one case, but that was from some like random eBay. Like, it has to be an actual competitive dealer, not some random Joe Schmo on eBay trying to empty his silver stack to pay off some medical bills. I've never seen anyone that literally has better prices than us. There's always a catch. They'll say, oh, this place has this, but then you go look at after you add everything to cart and check out, it is nowhere near the price that they are promoting it at. And that's a scam in my opinion, right? You'll go to the checkout, oh, this coin is this, go look at it after you pay, whether it's a debit, credit card, or whatever, go look at what the actual amount is. It's nowhere near what they're portraying, where ours, it is. Anyways, slayer@milesfranklin.com or call me 330-485-6172. And folks, if you enjoy these types of videos, if you want to be updated on a daily basis of what's happening around the world and how that affects the price of silver, then look no further, because I do post daily videos. Make sure you click subscribe and click the bell so you get notified when I post. I will always cover everything. I'll try to be the first to cover it as well. So make sure you are staying up to date, especially even if you're not subscribed to my channel, at least to a channel similar to mine, so you're updated. You cannot be blindly investing in today's day and age. Too much is going on. You have to be kept in the loop, and I will do that for you. So the silver price is currently sitting at $31.26 an ounce at the time of writing this article, far above the $23 level that it was on average at the start of the year, which is actually insane to think about. A lot of people are so short-sighted, they forgot that silver's average price at the start of the year was $23, and now people are boo-hooing at the sight of $31. It's crazy. People get so desensitized to higher prices that they forget what was just happening, or the situation they were just in. When it comes to precious metals commodities, gold is often the star. Copper and platinum too get some interest, but in 2024, it is silver that outshines them all. I don't know why this article, they wrote this very weird. Look at this. It is silver may outshine them all. That doesn't make sense. That's not English. And actually, they also didn't spell, or I guess pronounce something down here as well. That's why the introduction was kind of weird, because the way they worded it. I don't know if AI is writing this, or ChatGPT, or what, or I'm just kidding, but yeah. When it comes to precious metals commodities, gold is often the star. Copper and platinum too get some interest, but in 2024, it is silver may outshine them all, says David Morrison of Trade Nation. Personally, I believe the current pullback is temporary. I believe that both gold and silver have plenty more upside, as retail investors have only just started to get involved. That's a good point. And there's been relatively little commentary in the mainstream media. I also believe that silver has potential to outperform gold this year. Some big points there that we could really go off of, that if you want to make a case about where silver could head, just think about all the money that hasn't hit the market yet. Silver is a very small market. It's 3% the market of gold. And think about all the people that are in Bitcoin and all these other areas that have never heard of or even got the opportunity to think about safe havens, or nothing has happened that has been dangerous enough for them to jump the gun to safe havens yet. When that money comes in, that's going to be wild. Because think about it, especially since silver is a much smaller market than gold, it's affected easier. So it's not like you need gold type of money or even Bitcoin type of money to affect the price substantially. But also looking at, when mainstream catches on, when big players come in, when industry starts to fight with the whales, meaning like we're still not at that time yet, but I think we're going to get there very soon. That's why I always talk about triple-digit silver by the year 2025, 2026, is when big tech, big industry companies like Tesla, companies like SpaceX, companies like Apple, and the military, for example, any digitally, technologically advanced company that is knowingly going to have to be having a big spot in silver for the foreseeable future when they realize that silver is scarce, and when they realize that if they can't get their hands on a good source, that they will run out of business or their cost of production will skyrocket through the roof, especially when the price rises. That's when we're going to see some real competition. When the producers turn to the consumers and the consumers turn to the producers. The people like you and I that want the silver will be able to sell to the people that need it. See, we don't need it. They need it. If you want the newest, latest iPhone to come out at a fair price, you better hope that they're willing to pay your prices. I mean, we're not at that situation yet. The military already is obviously going on, but I don't think the rest of the economy has seen that yet. And I feel like, and I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that since 2019, and I've always been saying that. Since 2019, I've been saying I feel triple-digit silver will be by the year 2025, 2026 for the exact reasons, and now it's looking like it is all playing out exactly how I predicted. I'm not trying to say I told you so, because a lot of you have been on the bandwagon as well. I'm just saying it is crazy that it is all unfolding before our eyes. And it didn't take a genius to notice it, though. It's been blatantly obvious. Numbers don't lie. And if anything, the numbers that that are being lied about are actually extremely under exaggerated. So it's even worse when you realize the military sector and aerospace sectors that aren't even incorporated in our 1.2 billion ounce demand, setting record-breaking supply deficits over 500 million ounces in the last 3 years, not even including the biggest sectors that require silver. Like, that is insane. But regardless, let's keep moving on. So, why is silver's price currently rising faster than gold? I don't even have to answer this. That's a stupid question. Well, it's not a stupid question. I guess if you're someone new, I guess you could say, okay, why? Basically, and I don't even think they answered the question correctly. Let's read. Okay, so this is what they say. Historically, silver has always been more volatile, which is true. There are plenty of reasons why this may be. For a start, the silver market is much smaller than gold's. True. It tends to be thinner in terms of daily trading volumes. True. It just isn't as popular as gold. Prices can swing about on relatively small orders. It is much cheaper than gold, so market has different dynamics. Also, silver has significant industrial uses, especially in electronics and solar panels. The growth in these industries boosts silver demand. In addition, unlike gold, which gets recycled, those silver gets used up and never recovered since it's thrown away. It's thrown away in landfills. This means that while plentiful, silver supply and demand dynamics are quite different from gold's. This can lead to some wild price moves when we talk terms when the world runs out of silver. There's a lot wrong with this. Lastly, when the gold price rises, silver often follows, sometimes with a lag, then it overcompensates, and then the market sees stunning rallies. Well, kind of missed the mark on that one. The reason right now, why silver is currently rising faster is because the gold to silver ratio is it's reevaluating itself back to more level terms. They even mentioned it in the beginning. The gold to silver ratio normally is around 70 to 1, 75 to 1, or whatever. It should be down to like 8 to 1 because that's the ratio it comes out of the Earth's crust. But that's why right now we knew this would happen. When gold was sitting above $2,000 and silver was only like $19, whatever, $20. We knew that silver was going to go on a big rally because it needed to correct. And that's just what's happening right now. Silver's playing catch up. Yes, all of these points are true. It has industrial uses. But right now, it's the gold to silver ratio correcting itself. And then these are the reasons why silver will eventually take on a life of its own, regardless of what gold's doing. But it's not there yet. It's not there yet. They're still moving in tandem. But right now, it's just the ratios equaling themselves out, which it had to do, and we knew it would. Obviously not every question or answer is as black as white as that, but there's definitely, more to the table in terms of silver's future potential of why it will be moving compared to gold's than what it's currently doing or why it's currently moving compared to the price of gold. If you see what I'm saying, there's two different sections and two different time frames in here. So I could be wrong. I mean, it's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. So is there a recent historical precedent for this? There's a good chance that we see a rerun of the mania that took place 13 years ago. Silver price surged from 18 and then shot up to 50. And yeah, um, they're going to talk about the 2008, yep, there we go, 2008 credit financial crisis. Then you have the $1 billion stimulus. The recession/depression led to $50 silver 3 years later in 2011. $49 silver. And then you're going to compare that to 2020. You had the credit financial crisis, recession/depression, $1 trillion stimulus, not billions of dollars, trillions of dollars stimulus, a global pandemic, and now like 4 or 5 different wars going on. So if that led silver to $50 back then, things are much more extreme nowadays. So he's saying like this could happen again. It goes over a lot of different things. Interest rates being held at current levels, blah, blah, blah. Specifically, what interaction can you see happening between gold price and silver price this year? Silver's been lagging gold for a long time now. While gold has hit a succession of fresh record highs, this year remains very long way short of its own record from back in April of 2011. Blah, blah, blah. Current ratio stands at 74-1. That's way below its recent high of 92. And that's why silver's outperforming right now. You're just seeing silver or pushing this 92-1 ratio back down towards the 70-1 level. And then let's say the ratio drops back down from 50. That's what I covered in the introduction. 50-1 from 74. That means silver's going to outperform gold even more. Because for the ratio to go downwards, that means silver outperforms gold. For the ratio to go upwards, that means gold is outperforming silver. Like when the ratio was 125-1 in March of 2020 or whatever, silver was $11, while gold was, pushing 2,000. Like, it's insane. So let's say that, and this is their point though. Now they're saying if this level can get back down to 30-1, like in 2011, then that would be pushing silver at around $47 per ounce, implying almost the $50 an ounce level, which is shade below the 2011 all-time highs. Now let's say gold hits $3,000 an ounce and the ratio is 50-1, meaning silver would be $60. But let's say a 30-1 ratio with gold at $3 puts silver at $100, double the price of its previous all-time high. So he's basically saying the gold to silver ratio is the biggest tool his biggest tool, I guess, to reason if silver, or how I guess silver could push up to $100. Of course, there's not a speck of price manipulation being mentioned in here, which is the biggest reason, like I mentioned in the beginning. It's not if silver can go to $100, or it's not is silver worth $100. It's more of the question of will the manipulation end to allow it to go to $100? That's the $1 million question, is when will the corruption end, the price manipulation, the price suppression? So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for sticking around, especially if you are still listening to me speak. That means you wanted to soak up every single piece of information. You didn't click off the video within the first 2 minutes thinking that you know it all. You wanted to stay around, and that speaks about your character, and I'm sure that someone who is willing to be open-minded enough to stick around, get all the information without clicking off thinking they don't need to know anything or that they already know it all, I'm sure the more observant, more interested person is going to be more successful. Not saying that those people won't be, because at least they're stacking silver, but I'm just saying that you still listening to me speaks volumes, and I appreciate that. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, and also make sure you guys check out my other videos. Go check out the video I posted yesterday about Alex Jones and Joe Rogan. Alex Jones exposing silver corruption, price manipulation, ironically, which is the question of this, or I guess the answer to this, this whole entire video. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.